Now, different generations have different priorities when it comes to voting, but has the emergence of social media apps like TikTok widened that divide between the generations?
Well, Rosie Dowsing has been quizzing two generations of a family from South Derbyshire to find out.
Hi TikTok, sorry to be breaking into your usual politics-free feed, but I'm making...
It's been dubbed the TikTok election. The first time political leaders have used these short, snappy videos to target voters, and the parties have been mocking each other. It brings their message straight to the attention of young TikTok users like Paris and Swadlincote, a different tool of information compared to older generations in her family.
I don't follow social media at all.
How do you get your news?
From news sources, either watching it on the television or on the internet.
TikTok, Instagram, simple politics.
But whether they use social media or not, it's clear there are other generational differences between left-leaning Paris and her right-leaning dad.
Obviously, years are catching up with me now, and the future of care for people is at the top of my agenda. It's scary.
I look more to the future rather than, like yours, the closer future, care and things.
Yeah.
Because obviously mum's a carer, so there's that level. But with me, it's when I'm, 45 and I've still not moved out because I can't afford a house, and the climate, really, climate change.
Some different priorities, but how much do they really disagree?
A few quick fire questions then. With education, the Conservatives say they're going to get rid of Mickey Mouse degrees. Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Agree. I don't think they bring worth to the nation.
I think any education's worthy.
OK, next question. Send asylum seekers to Rwanda for processing.
Disagree.
Disagree.
Is Labour's policy potentially to reduce the voting age to 16?
Oh, disagree.
Agree. If you can pay tax, you should be able to have influence in policy.
What's your view?
Mental maturity.
So the NHS, obviously a big issue. Sir Keir Starmer with the Labour Party wants to slash waiting lists by introducing more evening and weekend appointments.
Agree.
Disagree. Having more appointments would just push doctors to the brink, and it would discourage people from actually going into the profession.
Well, you only need to look at the numbers from voter registration to see that youngsters like Paris are getting ready to have their say.
Over 600,000 people registered to vote in a single day on the 18th of June, which was the deadline. Over half of them were aged under 34, and 26% of them were aged under 25. That's compared to just 4% aged over 65. And while this might mean that youngsters are typically more likely to leave things until the last minute, it could also mean that they may have seen one of many social media posts reminding them about the registration deadline, which experts say can only be a good thing.
Like Dr. Rachael Molitor at Coventry University, who thinks social media makes politics more accessible.
This year it's all down to the world of social media. It's what the politicians and in particular the party leaders are putting onto social media and how they are getting personable with the different generations. And it's just really important we make sure that information that is provided to us is trustworthy, informative and coming from the correct party.
With social media mobilising potential new voters, Dev Sharma from Leicester says politicians should not underestimate his generation.
We're a fifth of the electorate. We have to be listened to. My friends and I have looked at politicians as, oh, out of touch, Westminster in London. And what TikTok's done has made them cool, has made them so in our faces, made them wacky. That they're now in our homes. They're now easily accessible to first-time voters like myself.
Meanwhile, they may disagree, but this father-daughter duo wouldn't have it any other way.
I think we do get riled up, but it is also healthy. If we agreed on everything, it would be incredibly boring.
You have to believe in what you're saying. And Paris believes in what she's saying, so I'm very proud of her for that.
Dad, look at that.
So TikTok is a new political battleground that could widen the generational divide. But next week's results will be the real test of its impact. Rosie Dowsing, ITV News.